Hello, everyone. I'm delighted to be here to host this very interesting discussion as a moderator. Having been born in the mid-70s, I remember myself growing up as a child, hearing more or less frequently or reading about President of Greece, Mr. Konstantinos Karamanlis, and his love for golf. Those were the days that those were the years that golf, if not exotic, seemed like a very difficult sport, even entrenched. Fast forward 2023, obviously, golf here in Greece has evolved, has spread, but let's be honest, is still not struggling, but trying to establish itself as a pastime, especially as our guests will be able to elaborate in a few minutes, a vacation sport. And I personally believe that there is no better scenery for this amazing sport or better climate for this amazing sport than the beautiful, sunny and warm country of ours. And obviously, the floor agrees and is here to make its point. Here in Greece, we are known as perfect hosts. So I think that I speak for all three of us, for all of us. Mr. Ashington, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So thank you for inviting me here. It's great to be part of this important show, and really interesting that the previous topics were about how you get into a sport, and I think it was AJ that mentioned if you couldn't be on the pitch, you wanted to be as close to the pitch as possible. And that's pretty much how it works for me as well. So I want to run you through this presentation today about golf tourism, specifically linked to Greece. So we'll run through that. A little bit about myself, really, we'll start there, is the top picture is me playing my playing days. I'm a PGA professional, and I wanted to be Tiger Woods. I wanted to be on the pitch like AJ, but that didn't happen. I wanted to be Tiger Woods and be on the TV playing golf. But then things changed. I realized that wasn't going to be the career for me, and I've evolved into resort management, and particularly linked to the golf arena. So over 20 years now in the tourism industry, all spent in Southern Europe. So I learnt about Brexit very early, I think, to leave 20 years ago and take up what you mentioned is resorts really in excellent climates where they can have a great offering with a tourism element that's strong. So I've been in Portugal, Spain and Greece, looking after 5 different products, all in the luxury and ultra-luxury segment. And when you're working in these types of products, it's essential that you also have really close working relationships with your tourism boards, because that's how you develop destinations and nation tourism as well, national tourism. So you work at regional level as well as national level tourist boards. You have open discussions there, talking about flight access, developing the product, the local community, the local economy, and all sorts of things like that. So responsibilities as a general manager, you need to manage up as well as down. So you're working closely with your board, you're sharing your vision, you're listening to their vision on what they want for the product and how they see it evolving, okay? And then naturally you're managing your teams to make sure that they deliver all of those areas. We work closely on the budgeting, okay? That's a huge responsibility of mine. In terms of what I look for there is you're doing annual budgeting based on what's needed from the business year to year. But I'd also like to have a nice 5-year plan, a midterm plan, which I call fluid. So it can work within the concepts of where you're going. Is new emerging markets happening? Can you grow? Is there something that can affect your business? And in tourism, we've seen many things that have affected our business. Going back through my lifetime, we've sort of had banking crises, we've had ash clouds, and the most recent one would be COVID. So nobody expected COVID to come through, but actually what was most interesting about COVID was how the rebound happened. Everybody was forecasting, and I think you'll share that vision with me, we all forecasted a slow emergence from COVID, but actually the rebound was explosive. The need and the want to travel became more and more prevalent in the industry and from the clients' wants, and literally it exploded off the scene, and everything moved forward very quickly, and we have to have fluid plans to deal with that demand and how we handle the clients. Then there's the sales and marketing element, okay? So we have consolidated markets that we need to work on, evolve, make sure they're sustainable. Is there peaks? Is there things that are going to drop off in the consolidated arena? And then we focus very heavily on emerging markets. Is there a new market that we can really work and develop on? So you have to have a wider vision as well on the marketplace in general. And you need to ensure that that marketing strategy fits all of those areas, okay? It's fundamental that you work with your consolidated areas as well as investing into new developing markets that you feel can really add value to your resort. Naturally, in the responsibilities, you've got product conditioning. So the golf course is a live product. It needs maintenance every day. You need to make sure that you're looking after that and ensure that the golf course is in pristine conditions on a day-to-day basis, because your guest experience, expectations level is very, very high. You're also planning in advance for seasonality, okay? So the conditioning of your golf course will change from what's required in spring to what's required in summer, autumn, and then the winter time, okay? So you're making sure that that planning and also the financials that are required are already in place for your teams to ensure that the golf course is in excellent condition. Then there's the operational management side. Now that's ensuring that your teams are ready and willing to welcome the guests and give them a super guest experience. So we work quite closely on developing what we call the customer journey. The customer journey is really important from the very first moment that they contact you. So that is from the initial telephone call, the initial email, the reservation process, the pre-arrival process. How does that look? Is that exciting the guests to come to your resort? Then the on-site experience, and through to the post experience. Are you enhancing them to come back? Are you following up? Did you have a great time? We look forward to welcoming you back next year. So that's all sits under the operational management side. And then there's the asset management as well. So asset management is ensuring that the asset overall value is protected or enhanced, okay? So your owners have invested a lot of money into the product to develop it, and your responsibility is to make sure that's good. Now that can be not only the golf course, you're looking at buildings, okay? So we've all got great clubhouses. We actually have 3 at Costa Navarino that we need to ensure are in pristine condition. Are you forecasting that there might be some investments required? Are they needed next year, 3 years, 5 years? You need to ensure that your board are ready to make those investments. And then also you've got a lot of machinery with you at golf resorts as well. So your greenkeepers have a lot of expensive machinery. You need to make sure that those assets are managed. We're looking at movable assets, so that's buggies and greens machines and vehicles at 60 million euros. So you need to ensure that that is taken care of.
60 or 16?
60. It's a huge number, yeah. And believe me, the first purchase is... Now, there's different ways of managing that. Do you lease it or do you buy it? And if you buy it, who do you sell it on to? And what's the resale value of that? So there's all those things that you need to take into consideration in terms of the assets that you're buying and how you look after them going forward. So a little bit about Costa Navarino. So Costa Navarino, located in Messina, is spread across 13 kilometers, okay? So we've got Navarino Dunes to the left side there, our waterfront and bay area, and the hills. So being a general manager of a resort like that, you've got a lot of clients in a lot of different places. So again, when you go back to the previous slide when we're looking at operations, it's fundamental that you've got a very good control on your clients, where they are there any VIPs in-house, ensuring everybody has a really phenomenal time on your resort in all the different locations that we have. So really, the thing about Costa Navarino is it's moved from a resort now into a fully fledged destination. And this is sort of a timeline of how that progressed. So really in 2006, this is a very, very short timeline here. In 2006, they started the development of the Dunes, the Bay Course, the Westin and the Romanos hotels, okay? But your work starts there. So whilst this is in process of being developed, you need a sales and marketing, you need PR, you need a lot of things ready in place for when you open. And on 2010, we opened the Romanos Hotel and the Westin Hotel, as well as the Dunes Golf Course. So the day that you open that facility, the clients won't just arrive that day. You need to have pre-sold that a long time in advance. 1 year later, we opened the Bay Course in 2011. And in 2018, we started a new major development, which was to add 2 more luxury hotels, one in the luxury segment and one in the ultra-luxury segment. So we now have the W and the Mandarin Oriental, as well as developing 2 new golf courses, the Hills and the International Olympic Academy Golf Course. So again, what we're looking at here is what you need to do in advance of these facilities opening. And again, the clientele will change. So the guests that are willing to come to the Mandarin Hotel is a different type of guest. So we need to ensure that the marketing and the direction that we're taking it fits in to ensure that the sales and the progress comes through. Oops. So now as a destination, we have 4 products on our hands, okay? So we've got the Westin Hotel, we've got the Romanos Hotel, which is part of the luxury collection. We have the W Costa Navarino and the Mandarin Oriental, again spread across that 13 kilometers, and 4 signature golf courses. The 4 signature golf courses are designed by leading golf course architects across the globe. So we have the Dunes course, which was designed by Bernard Langer in the top left-hand corner. The Bay course, which is a Robert Trent Jones golf course. Our Hills and Olympic Academy golf courses are designed by Jose Maria Olazabal. I'm going to rewind now and start talking about how I got into the tourism industry and what was my first task. So when I first started, you know what it's like. You go through the interviewing stage, it's all smiles and shaking hands and everything's all really, really nice. And my owner came in about a week later with I wouldn't say a smiley face anymore. And he popped down on my desk a report from KPMG, who we all know is worldwide leaders in data study. I'm a big data fan. And he popped on my desk the 2006 KPMG report, which talked about the tourism impact on from golf, okay? And the numbers were eye-watering, and now this is back in 2006. So this is Europe alone. It was developing 19.6 billion in direct revenues. It was developing 48.3 billion in total economic value, and it was representing 13.3 billion in GDP to the countries, okay? So it's a huge added value to any destination is the golf element, okay? And I want to break those down now. So what does direct mean and what is the total economic value? How does that look? So the economic values are built around these structures. So it's the initial travel. The client will be booking the flight travel to come to you, additional transportation that's required to get from airports to destination. Then there's the package, okay? So that's the package they've pre-bought in advance. They will have pre-bought their rooms, that's probably got breakfast included, maybe they go for half board or whatever your offerings are. And then there is the golf rounds as well. So that's part of the golf package. That's the attraction to bring them to your product in the first place. Then there's the on-resort spend, okay? The on-resort spend is wide-ranging. I mean, we've got a tremendous amount of facilities on Costa Navarino, from on-sea resort activities, we've got kids clubs, we've got a numerous range of activities that people will spend additional funds on the resort. Then you've got food and beverage, so where are they going for dinner, entertainment, spa facilities, all of those things. But I think what destinations really develop from is how they help the off-course areas as well, okay? So off-resort spend is actually really big, and that built part of the indirect spend, okay? So when we looked at the last slide with 19 billion, when it increases, it's where they're spending their money once they're off your resort. And again, that's transportation. That could be a taxi, it could be a bus ride, it could be a train journey, anything like that. There's the additional entertainment that they do outside of your resort. They might be eating outside of the resort. Everybody likes to have a cultural experience in the region where they are. And then there's sightseeing and excursions. So here in Greece, we're lucky we can get out onto the water very, very easily and have a beautiful view out there in the sea. And also isn't there just an amazing amount of sites that you can see? We're privileged to be close to some really fantastic ones. We had some guests recently that travelled all the way to Olympia to see that fantastic area there. And then importantly, which often gets overlooked, is actually the real estate value, okay? So if the clients come to your destination and they're blown away by the experience and they really fall in love, which you can do with Greece, that adds to a value of, should I live here? Can I see myself living here? Second homes are hugely popular now and have been. So that could either be for personal holidays, so we want to come in Easter, summer, etc., to longer stays, okay? Second home, particularly now with the working from home environment, people are really, really looking at that. So the added value from that, from a GDP perspective, can be buying on resort or buying off resort, okay? People might just love the local area and see they want to be out in nature, things like that, closer to the seafront. So the real estate value is actually huge when you're looking at that. And golf can be a big bearer of that. If you actually dig in to the reasons why, if they've bought on or near a golf resort, golf will be in the top 3 reasons that they bought that property. So it's really interesting to look at the economic values that they can be brought to the regions from golf. So, okay, we've talked about my responsibilities a little bit. Where is my eagle eye? Okay, you have excuse the pun there with the eagle, but it's a golfing term. So as a general manager, you have to, as we spoke about earlier in responsibilities, you're looking at different things that you can manage on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis. But my eagle eye is always on the top line revenue growth. How are we developing the business? Because if you can keep increasing the top line, your profitability becomes better. Okay? So the principal factor of anything with tourism is how we get there. How is that initial journey? That elaborates on everything that you want to do in terms of marketing and direct access. So you have short haul travel, which is a journey that's anything up to 3 hours in flight time. Okay? This should be your premium focus. This is, if it's easily accessible, your audience is more captive. Okay? Then you've got mid-haul travel. Now, mid-haul travel is somewhere in the region of 3 to 6 hours. It depends on the measurement. Airlines sometimes measure by kilometers or by hours of flight. So mid-haul one, you should definitely have an eye on because you can capture more things. So particularly Costa Navarino, we're looking at the colder northern European countries where golf courses are potentially closed in the winter, and coming to our region would be hugely valuable because they cannot play golf in their home country. And then you've got long-haul travel, which is a completely different element. How do you break into the Americas? How do you break into Asia and Australasia areas? And that is a totally different look because they are often multi-center ventures, okay? So that is a longer stay that takes in different things, okay? So you need to build a business case study, sales and marketing plan structured all around the different journeys that the client's going to take to reach you. So the short haul might be a shorter stay, 3-4 nights. The mid haul will probably be a longer stay, and the long haul travel could vary completely differently. And also measuring what your client expectation is. If you're on a shorter haul one, you probably want to jump into the resort, play some golf and leave us within a short space of time. Mid haul, they'll be looking at different things like we just spoke about. The excursions, the sightseeing, the additional value that is in the region. And long haul, it's all about a total experience package.
Which of these 3 categories is the most challenging marketing-wise?
I would say naturally by demographic, it's the long haul. And that is purely based on the sales and marketing that starts to when that client reaches you is a longer period. It can be in excess of 12 months. Okay? You can do sales and marketing in the short haul that has a 3 to 6 month span, but the long haul, from your investment to seeing that client on site, it takes a longer challenge. So talking about those accessibility, really, we obviously focus our first instance onto Kalamata, which is the nearest airport to the resort, but naturally not all countries and demographics arrive into Kalamata. So we also have to look at the different other airports and accessibility. And also we can work with with boats as well. So cruises are quite popular. So where are the people? Costa Navarino is obviously a premium product, and it's already on the radar for those guests. So we can get clients arriving on a cruise ship into Athens that will happily make that trip down to play our product. They've heard about it, they've seen it, and they really want to experience Costa Navarino. So again, it's building the sales and marketing plan about the accessibility. Then it's knowing your flight schedules. When are they? When do we need to target? So for instance, the reason that Costa Navarino generally closes during the winter is the accessibility point, okay? So we'll see there from the dates that actually it starts very slowly in February and then increases in March and increases in April, and that longevity sticks until the end of the summer and then slowly develops off. So you need to build again your programs, your packages, all around the accessibility and the timings. So key focus areas for us is always based on best access, okay? And again, from a sales and marketing perspective, you're looking at what is the population of the country that can get to us. So we look there at Austria, we understand the population, and we understand the number of golfers, okay? So you're looking at 194,000 golfers in Austria. What are their needs? What are they looking for? And there you look at all of the different main access that comes into Kalamata Airport, and we immediately start our programs based on those countries because we know that they are getting into the local area and they are keen golfers because we have that data there on the golfers. This data is out there. I would suggest that anybody that is in golf management to look at KPMG reports, look at the RNA forecasts, and this sort of data is readily available for anybody to find, and you can build your sales and marketing programs around that and your accessibility to your product. So again, the eagle eye. So where are those destinations that are finding it difficult to get to us? How can we develop that business? So if we look at France, they're in excess of 1 million golfers. Ireland, in excess of 1 million golfers. Sweden, in excess of 1 million golfers. So that's 3 million golfers out there in Europe, so with access, that we need to try and generate that business. So we're developing plans behind that and how we reach that guest and what can we do to incentivize them to come to Costa Navarino. And I've left one out there, in a bit of a curveball, is Iceland. Okay?
Impressive percentage.
That's exactly it. So again, pleased our marketing manager is in the audience with us as well. This was a case study for us. I've done it before in a previous resort, that actually the population is very low, but the number of golfers is very, very high. And what does that mean to you from a marketing perspective is that you could take out a page in a Sunday magazine knowing, based on those ratios, that 1 in 5 people plays golf, which is a really impressive stat and one that you don't get with the other destinations there that have in excess of 1 million golfers. So you're actually reaching the table of the key market that you want very, very easily in Iceland. That means your online sales can be, your online programs can be done very well, your media programs can be done very well, and you're not reliant really on independent companies to help you. We're then looking at the client types, okay? So there's different type of clients that want to come to your resort. Are you building packages that suit all needs? So we have FIT bookings. So FIT bookings is anything up to 16 guests. It's small, it's easy. They're generally looking for basic things and to come and have an enjoyable experience. Then you have group bookings, which is 16 and above. This suddenly the demographic of what they want changes. They probably want all their rooms close together. They probably want pre-booked dining experiences. They probably want pre-booked excursions or other activities inside their package. So you need to make sure that you've got that ready rather than have an I'll get back to you answer. Nobody likes that answer. I'll send you an email, I'll follow up. That doesn't work. Okay? Make sure you've got everything ready for your different types of clients that come through. Then there's corporate. What is corporate? Corporate could be a company that's doing an incentive. The incentive might be our top 50 salespeople from BMW. We're taking them away to Costa Navarino. We're playing golf. We're doing this. We're doing that. It's a really important arena for us. It could be a product launch. It could be one of the top leading golf companies that want to launch a product. And where's better to do it and take photos and showcase their new product than with a nice seafront background with beautiful sunshine and blue sky. Then you've got professional groups. Professional groups would be, there's a wide number of golf courses across the world that you get in touch with their head professional and you see what their needs and requirements are from the club. Again, if you're looking into the colder countries, then the pro at the golf club will be happy to take his members away. Perhaps he's looking at doing additional revenue by doing tuition trips, but make sure you've got everything ready for what they want as well. And then there's tournaments. Now, tournaments can range from anything from amateur level tournaments to medium-sized pro tournaments, pro-ams, for example, right through to staging professional tournaments. And we host a number of those at Costa Navarino. But each and every one has its different needs and requirements, and you need to make sure you've got programs and ready answers to engage that arena, but also make it easy for them to say yes. That's the best. If you're prepared, the easy answer is yes. So then you've got your segmentation. So segmentation really is split in two. You've got your B2B, which is business to business. So that's working closely with international tour operators. So there's a huge number of tour operators that specifically sell golf-only holidays, okay? That is their core business. They actually build all their branding around it. So you've got companies like Golf Breaks and Your Golf Travel. That is their key core business. They only sell golf holidays. So you need to build relationships with them. You need to build your relationships with the ones that can access you well, and also develop the marketing that's required to make your resort the standout product inside their brochure, their website, everything like that. Then, as we spoke about with tournaments, you've got event organizers. Event organizers specifically do events. So they will be looking at doing golf tournaments at your venue or product launches that require golf. And again, you need to have everything ready for that through the B2B channel. Then you've got inbound travel companies. Now, inbound travel companies will be companies based in Greece that do a lot of logistical things, so such as transfers, sightseeing, tours, everything like that. And again, you need to ensure that you've got a case, a product, and a sales program specifically for that area. And then you've got travel agencies, which is often mixed up with a tour operator. Now, a travel agency is an independent company that just produces travel, and it could be anything really. It could be leisure, it could be a cruise, it could be anything. And again, they generally work on commission, but it sits in your B2B segment, and you need to ensure that you've got everything in their hands to help promote you, help push you, and keep that client flow coming through. More challenging often is the B2C. Okay, so that's direct to the consumer. How do you reach your consumers? Is your website covering enough of what they need? So we've talked about different client types and what their needs and requirements are. Are you promoting that you do that on your website? Are we telling them what that looks like? Can I do a product launch? Is there somebody that's from BMW saying, do Costa Navarino do events like I'm looking at? And if you can propose that to them, that it's easily findable, they will engage with you and start that communication to host. Then there's golf media. A lot of golf media have a lot to write about. It could be product launches for golf equipment. It could be international tournaments that are on TV. But golf travel is a huge feature inside of that. Okay? Are we present? Are we making the right impact in the golf media? Are we inviting them to see our product? Do they need to develop anything to help us a little bit more and help themselves? And in terms of Costa Navarino, we're looking at moving more into lifestyle and luxury, okay? So when you have products that we have, all of our hotels are 5-star to 5-star plus. We should be inside lifestyle magazines that are linked to, so we work with Financial Times, for instance, with the how to spend it. And inside there, you might have a luxurious watch, you might have a really nice car, but we also have a really nice product to produce travel. So working closely with lifestyle and luxury media as well. And then there's your social media, which has just exploded, as we know, over the years with multiple channels.
Okay. Mr. Ashington, thank you very much for now. I know, because I had a brief look, that there are some more aspects on your presentations. We will be able to tackle them during the
Absolutely.
question session.
Sure.
So you are giving the floor. Thank you very much, Mr. Panagiotis.
Hello, I'm Panagiotis Sabaziotis. I'm the golf and sports manager in Porto Garage. I would like to thank you. I would like to thank the organizers for having me here today. It's a pleasure for me. So, allora από So here we have the number of golfers by year in Europe. As you can see, since 2012 to 2022, this number, the amount of golfers has doubled from 7 million, 7.5 million. Now in 22, we had 14 million golfers only in Europe. So that means that the golf industry is evolving rapidly, and it will continue to evolving rapidly. So that means that also the desire for the golf destination is increasing also. So here we have the European countries with the most active golfers. First place, okay, is England with total population 56 million, with active golfers, of course, more than 3 million. Then follows Germany, France, and then is Sweden. Sweden has the biggest percentage of active golfers in Europe, maybe also in the world. I'm not sure, but I think that is the country with the biggest percentage of active golfers based on its population. As you can see, Sweden has 10 million, like Greece, and they have active golfers more than 1 million. Or at the same time, here in Greece, we have maximum 1,000 active golfers, Greek golfers.
Correct.
So here we have, I would like to say, kinds of golf holidays. It's tournaments, professional groups holidays, combination between golf and gastronomy, combination between golf and spa, family holidays, and lifetime golf holidays is an apartment or villa owner, like David said before, is really, really important, the real estate asset in golf industry. What you need to be a golf destination, or one place what needs to be a golf destination, it needs at least 3 golf courses, needs 5-star hotels, needs restaurants, activities, which can be spa, tennis, of course easy access, and the most important, my opinion, is the favorable weather condition, which we have here in Greece, absolutely. It was short. David said all before, so.
He's covered all.
Yeah, he's covered all in detail.
I have a question for you both. In comparison with the other markets here in Southern Europe, because it's pretty obvious if we compare ourselves to the markets in the Northern Europe. Which are Greece's advantages? Comparing to Turkey, maybe?
I'd say, comparing to Turkey, it's that Turkey does offer purely all-inclusive, and that can be seen as a benefit and a negative at the same time. I would say that Greece is considered an emerging market in the golf tourism industry at the moment, okay, and that's what we need to try and develop, and I'm so delighted that Panagiotis is starting to develop. It will only help. It will have bigger coverage inside magazines and media in general if you've got more products in the marketplace. So at the moment, really, our key competitor markets is Spain, Portugal, and Turkey. So Portugal, where I've worked for many, many years, on the Algarve coast there, they have 39 golf courses in a radius of 120 kilometers. So it's a big competitor stage. Most European countries, as you move into the warmer weather areas, do have golf tourism. So I think it's critical now that that Greece looks at it in many ways in development, in terms of extending the seasons, which helps the jobs and the local communities as well, and as well as the benefits of real estate.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Favorable
Sabaziotis, anything
I
to
agree
add?
100% with David. The favorable weather conditions are really, really important. And because with these conditions, we can extend, as David said, the season from February, March, let's say, until the end of November easily, or even all year round.
So, let us complete our floor with Mr. Tsolis and his views, his presentation.
Thank you very much. I'm just here on behalf of Mr. Thanos Karagias, who unfortunately had a COVID, let's say, issue, and on behalf of Bird Events. Bird Events is an event company in golf tourism, having a very successful event called Maritime Golf Event that happens in Glyfada and in Costa Navarino. Actually, this year, in 2024, is going to be our 10th year in Costa Navarino, having this maritime event. I would like our production to have a video, and even if we can, if David agrees, let's see also the video of Costa Navarino after our video.
That'd be super, yeah.
Okay, so let's watch these two videos and then talk about it a little bit.
Καταρχάς, είμαστε πολύ χαρούμενοι που βρισκόμαστε πάλι στις εγκαταστάσεις της Κώστα Ναβαρίνο.
Ο καιρός τελικά ήταν πολύ καλύτερος από ό,τι περιμέναμε. Είχαμε πολλές συμμετοχές στο τουρνουά και είναι όλοι πολύ χαρούμενοι. Αυτοί που έχουν έρθει για πρώτη φορά εντυπωσιάστηκαν με τις εγκαταστάσεις, αλλά και με τη διοργάνωση γενικά.
Golf is a game, it's a social game. A game where you have the chance to meet each other while you play, while you test yourself. I hope you enjoyed it today. Me and my team, we had a really great time at the day course.
Είμαι πολύ χαρούμενος που βλέπω το τουρνουά να εξελίσσεται κάθε χρόνο, να έχει φοβερή απήχηση από την ναυτιλία και όχι μόνο.
Να παρουσιάζουμε καινούριους χορηγούς και να βλέπουμε καινούργια πρόσωπα.
Και κάθε χρόνο να έρχονται όλο και περισσότεροι.
Το Golf Clinic, όπως κάθε χρόνο, έφερε σε πρώτη επαφή με το golf αρκετό κόσμο.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Greek Maritime Golf Event, I would like to welcome you all here tonight.
Για του χρόνου, αυτό που ευχόμαστε είναι να ξαναβρισκόμαστε πάλι στις εγκαταστάσεις της Κώστα Ναβαρίνο.
Με περισσότερες συμμετοχές κάθε φορά.
A place of unparalleled beauty, which lies in the second peninsula of Halkidi Key, under the shadow of Mount Athos and across from Mount Olympus. This place is a hidden heaven, full of lush forests, beautiful bays, hills, breathtaking views of the Aegean Sea. famous five-star resort is built here, carrying a long legendary history. Many VIPs have been coming to Puerto Carras since the 80s. Royals, artists, significant political figures, and celebrities enjoyed staying here, exploring their own private paradise. In 1976, the first owner, Ioannis Karras, constructed the hotels after falling deeply in love with this natural oasis. The hotel buildings are the original designs of Walter Gropius, extremely advanced and contemporary for their time. These architectural gems captured visitors, always luring them into extending their stay for more. But it's not only the location and the buildings. Inside the hotel complex, there are 2 casinos, offering a gaming experience to visitors. Take a breath. We are going under the blue-green, crystal-clear water. Natural beauty and marine diversity is lying on the seabed, and also along the 9 kilometers of coastline. Sandy beaches and coves full of shady pine forests encompass the 25 secluded bays of the coast. Following the sea, we reach the marina. One of the largest private marinas in Greece, with 315 berths, which can accommodate large luxury vessels and mega yachts. Flying over the unique and only golf course in northern Greece, you can see why it holds the title of the best golf hotel in Greece. Complete with 18-hole and par 72 signature courses that can satisfy the most demanding golfers. Overlooking the Aegean, 1.7 square kilometers full of vines amphitheatrically formed on hills, constitute the largest organic vineyard in Greece and one of the biggest in Europe. 26 grape varieties are grown in the estate, which produces fine quality and multiply awarded wines.
Εγώ γεννήθηκα σε ένα χωριό της Μεσσηνίας, έγινα ναυτικός και είχα την τύχη να γυρίσω όλο τον κόσμο. Εγώ δεν τα βρήκα, ας πούμε, να πω ότι κάποια στιγμή έβαλα κάπου, βρήκα ένα μεγάλο χτύπημα, ξέρω και εγώ κλπ. Αγόρασα κομματάκι από 1.200 ιδιοκτήτες στα 10.000 στρέμματα.
Ένα από τα μεγαλύτερα ελληνικά τουριστικά συγκροτήματα, το Κώστα Ναβαρίνο Μεσσηνίας, άνοιξε σήμερα τις πόρτες του για να υποδεχθεί Έλληνες και ξένους επισκέπτες. Οι τουριστικές εγκαταστάσεις απλώνονται σε μια έκταση 10.000 στρεμμάτων.
I think that we will all agree that both infrastructure and landscape are breathtaking regarding Costa Navarino as well as Porto Carras. An amazing sport played, Mr. Tsolis, in amazing places.
Amazing places. I was lucky enough to be in 2010 in Costa Navarino and create the first Hellenic Turkish golf tournament. From my point of view as a golf production company, what I want to say is that we see the numbers and the data, and honestly, Mr. David, this was one of the best speeches I've ever seen about golf the last 10 years in Greece. And I try to follow up with everything that's happening. It's very important to understand the numbers. Also the numbers that Mr. Panagiotis showed us from the golfers, over 14 million golfers in Europe. We have to understand as well the infrastructure, like you said, the golf courses. I think now with the 4 golf courses in Messenia, we have 11 in Greece. That's the same number with Cyprus, but in Cyprus we have 1 million people. And Sweden, like you mentioned, we have 654 golf courses, while in Scotland, with half of population, like 5 million, we have around 600 golf courses. So you understand how important it is to have the golf courses, and we hope very soon to have in Porto Carras, in Crete, in Rhodes, in Peloponnese, in Corfu, as many as we can golf courses. That will increase. We have to remember that a golf tourist spends double than a normal tourist, which is the most important thing. It's not only about golf tourism, it's about the economical impact that we have. I don't know if you want to add something, David, on this.
It is. I mean, it's a notorious fact that often gets overlooked, and is the fact that when you add on all the additional spends of a golfer, it suddenly increases to a very high number indeed. I mean, I always use that as a data average, and we're looking at, I don't have the Costa Navarino data, but in previous resorts it was in excess of 500 to 800 euros per day per guest, which is an incredible value.
800 per guest?
Per guest, per day.
Per day.
Per day.
Okay, the average spending of a visitor, of a visit in Peloponnese, according to SETE, is 400 euros. Of a visit, not per day.
Yeah.
So you can understand all the difference on this.
No, for sure. And I think what you look at really is how you develop other parts of it. And as you rightly mentioned, there's developing golfer, non-golfer experiences as well is really adding value. And that additional spend moves into other areas as well, be on resort or off resort. So it's a critical point that you raised there. And data is fabulous. And I don't think that data is known everywhere, which is important that we get that into the market.
That's a very important thing that you said, and from my point of view, I would like to thank you for educating us, and you and Porto Carras, because we need to let people know about the future.
Exactly.
And golf tourism is the future in Greece, and I think it will help a lot our industry.
To close it up, why should anyone play golf?
Well,
why? Could you please repeat?
Why someone can play, would like to play
Why
golf?
should anyone play golf? What golf gives?
Do you want me to go on that one?
Yeah, go on.
So I think where we saw the true benefits of golf was when we came out of COVID, okay? So we all know that we were locked down, and then we were allowed a little bit of freedom, and golf exploded everywhere. And I think that brought a lot of new life to golfers. As you rightly mentioned, golf has been growing year on year, but there will be a spike in that, which is really, really impressive. That people started to enjoy the golf, enjoy the outdoors, enjoy the beautiful green spaces that we have, the sites. So it's not all about playing golf well, it's about the enjoyment of a sport. And I think the most impressive thing, and I was in Sweden when I first saw this, was that any age can play this sport. So when I was sat in a clubhouse in Sweden, I saw a family of children, parents and grandparents all teeing off to play sport together, which there aren't many sports that you can do that. Most of them are so reliant on being energetic and everything like that, whereas golf, you can hit every age category in your family, and that's very nice quality time that you don't get sometimes.
Mr. Ashington, Mr. Sabaziotis, Mr. Tsolis, thank you very much. I'm the exact opposite of an expert on golf, but I found this presentation. Very interesting, and I hope this goes for all of you. Thank you very much. See you next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.